All right, what's up, everybody? It's another episode of Stand Tall. We are in chapter 6 of The Art of War. And actually, I'm in the alternate translation. Oops, let's go to the first one, the original one. Chapter 6, verse 27. All men can see the tactics whereby I conquer, but what none can see is the strategy out of which victory is evolved. Kind of like what he said in 26, how victory may be produced for them out of the enemy's own tactics. That is what the multitude cannot comprehend. 27. All men can see the tactics whereby I conquer, but what none can see is the strategy out of which victory is evolved. So people see you when you win. People witness the triumph, but they don't witness the rocky cutscene, right? Like of the strategy, the planning, the coordinating, the talking with your advisors, with your confidants, with your generals, the all of the market research that you do, everything like that, all of that back end work people don't see. So 28, do not repeat the tactics which have gained you one victory, but let your methods be regulated by the infinite variety of circumstances. The infinite variety of circumstances to mean, well, that's very, I love it, right? Do not repeat the tactics which have gained you one victory, right? Because once you do it once, everyone knows what you're going to do again. Once you run a trick play, you can't run it again. But let your methods be regulated by the infinite variety. You've got to adapt, right? The infinite method of variety. You've got to keep reinventing the wheel in order to survive. The more adaptable you are, the more creative you are, the more you're able to keep up, the more you're able to stay on top of things, the more survivable. All right, Master Sun says victory over multitudes by means of formation is unknowable to the multitudes. Everyone knows the form by which I am victorious, but no one knows the form by which I ensure victory. Mei Yaochen says to this, the multitudes know when you win, but they do not know that it is based on the formations of the enemy. They know the traces of attainment of victory, but do not know the abstract form that makes for victory. Li Kuan says, victory in war is apparent to all, but the science of ensuring victory is a mysterious secret, generally unknown. Master Sun says, therefore, victory in war is not repetitious, but adapts its form endlessly, right? So instead of like repeating the one, it's not repetition. It adapts its form endlessly, the infinite possibilities. Li Kuan says to this, determining changes as appropriate. Do not repeat former strategies to gain victory. Dumu says, whatever formation opponents may adopt, from the beginning, I can adapt to them to attain victory. Excuse me. All right. You can adapt. You have to adapt. So that is the message. Adapt. Always adapt. Change is good. July 25th, out of the Daily Stoic by Ryan Holiday and Stephen Hanselman. What's left to be prized? This, I think, to limit our action, our inaction, to only what's in keeping with the needs of our own preparation. It's what the exertions of education and teaching are all about. Here is the thing to be prized. If you hold this firmly, you'll stop trying to get yourself all the other things. If you don't, you won't be free, self sufficient, or liberated from passion, but necessarily full of envy, jealousy, and suspicion for any who have the power to take them. And you'll plot against those who do not have what you prize. But by having some self respect for your own mind and prizing it, you will please yourself and be in better harmony with your fellow human beings, more in tune with the gods, praising everything they have set in order and allotted to you. Okay, this ties into a little bit of like the Gnostic Gospels for me at the very end. Let's just repeat that last sentence. But by having some self respect for your own mind and prizing it, you will please yourself and be in better harmony with your fellow human beings. When you make yourself happy, you're happy. People like to be around that. People like to be around positive people and more in tune with the gods, praising everything that they have set in order and allotted to you. So in the Gnostic Gospels, the belief is that you are God, that everything in this world is projected by like your inner thing. And it's, whether you believe that or not, is up to you. But the the wisdom that Marcus Aurelius shares with us here in meditation 6.16.2b through 4a is essentially that when you're like not full of envy, jealousy, and suspicion of those in power, like you're not committing any of the seven deadly sins, right? So like You won't be liberated and you won't be self-sufficient. You won't be free. You have to take care of yourself. You have to serve yourself too in order to serve others. Because like for me, serving others serves me, because it makes me feel good. And so by feeling good, by serving other people, it is like that positive pattern, that positive synchronicity, whether it's waiting tables or helping someone grow a company, or helping them however I can help them, especially as being an electrician, right? So like something that's desperately needed, it and you can see what you've done at the end of the day. You can see what you've built. You can see what you attain. You can receive the praise and joy from a homeowner for fixing a problem that could have been really bad and things like that. Warren Buffett, whose net worth is approximately 65 billion, lives in the same house that he bought in 1958 for 31,500. John Urschel, a lineman for the Baltimore Ravens, makes millions but manages to live on $25,000 a year. San Antonio Spurs star Kawhi Leonard gets around a 1997 Chevy Tahoe he's had since he was a teenager, even with a contract worth 94 million. Why? It's not because these men are cheap, it's because the things that matter to them are cheap. Neither Buffett or Urschel nor Leonard ended up this way by accident. Their lifestyle is the result of prioritizing. They cultivate interests that are decidedly below their financial means, and as a result, any income would allow them freedom to pursue the things they most care about. It just happens that they became wealthy beyond any expectation. This kind of clarity about what they love most in the world means they can enjoy their lives. It means they'd still be happy even if the markets were to turn or their careers were cut short by injury. The more things we desire and the more we have to do or earn to attain those achievements, the less we actually enjoy our lives and the less free we are. So this is why I don't personally think that I did well in a sales position, especially with products that I didn't fully understand at the time. And so I like the analogy to the sports stars and to Warren Buffett. And this just goes to show the war that we go through as consumers every day. That these companies, these corporations that hire these people with so many degrees out of Harvard and wherever, Yale, all of these like prestigious schools with prestigious psychology degrees in order to come work for their marketing departments. But at the end of the day, it's your choice. It's your choice whether you've educated yourself. It's your choice whether you or not you've studied the enemy, um, and you've come to truth with yourself about like what your true values are. And the marketing culture and the growth culture and everything like that is always encouraging you to make stupid decisions and buy things that don't have any long-term value. And so this speaks a lot to that clarity, to serving yourself first and making sure that like serving yourself doesn't involve doing something like focusing on things instead of your values. By focusing on your values, you're going to win that war time and time again. And so and just like Sun Tzu says, as we move through and we focus on this, on these values, on growing as a person, we need to be sure that we don't use the same thing to win every battle. Again, like the same battle, right? We don't use the same tactics because every time we grow, we're going to have a new challenge, a greater challenge every single time. It's going to get harder, and it's supposed to, because it's the only way. If like you can look at how many people achieve some level of comfort and they stay there. Nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, what are you trying to achieve? Because what I want to achieve is I want to achieve a lifetime of learning, of growing, of exploring and experiencing. And I want to pass that trait on to my children. And so by reading and exploring and being open and being prepared to fight these little fights of my inner discipline and being able to tell myself and grow that muscle of like no and doing the things I don't want to do, the more successful I will be, and not just monetarily, but free. Like he says, the more you're able to not focus on material things, the more free you are. Another tenet of the Gnostic Gospels, by the way. So it's just very interesting how all of this interlays together. That Sun Tzu is telling us to always always be adaptable and always have new tactics. And here is the Daily Stoic saying that we always have to fight, like we always have to be cognizant of those things that make us either happy or not happy. How are we acting, right? To act or not to act. All right. Oh, sorry, that's the next one. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed that episode, and we'll see you guys on the next one.